Hey y'all, Beasley here. Today I'm coming to you from Sapulpa, Oklahoma. I took that short 15-mile drive from downtown Tulsa to downtown Sapulpa. A lot to see and do in their historic downtown district. Like many Oklahoma towns, Sapulpa sprang up around oil money, and specifically the discovery of the Glen Pool just a matter of miles east of where we are here in downtown Sapulpa. Most of the buildings in the downtown area were built between 1905 and the 1920s, by which time Tulsa had claimed the title of oil capital of the world. So in contrast to Tulsa, where our older downtown buildings were knocked down in favor of more modern office buildings, the downtown area of Sapulpa was frozen in time. With 53 contributing buildings on 13 blocks, the Sapulpa Downtown Historic District was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 2002. These historic buildings are now home to cafes, studios, offices, bars, and a lot of antique and curio shops, all trying to survive the pandemic at the moment. I'm looking forward to a return to normalcy, and I hope to see y'all here on Route 66 in downtown Sapulpa in the spring. But today, I'm going to give y'all a brief virtual architecture tour and get you inside of one of these historic buildings. And they are getting ready for Christmas here at Studio 1, 106 East Dewey. And this guy is working hard to greet everybody here at Pat's Place at 17 East Dewey. The first building I want to take a look at is the 1909 Berry Hill building, right here in the heart of downtown on Route 66, which is known as Dewey Avenue in Sapulpa, and we are just one half block east of Main Street, which was long designated as US Highway 75. This reinforced concrete frame building is representative of that Chicago commercial style, very common in the early 20th century, also known as Sullivan-esque. It brings to mind a classic column with the lowest level acting as the base, the middle floors usually with little ornamental detail being the shaft or the body of the column, and the top floor often capped with detailed entablature. Here we see a lattice frieze which represents the capital or the cap of the column. I love this post and lintel Italian Renaissance style entrance, topped with Romanesque finials, giving way to multiple styles in the string course along the top of the first floor facade. The street level has 3 storefronts along Dewey Avenue. The 4 upper floors are divided into 5 bays with ornamented brick pilasters, giving the appearance of supporting columns. This building is L-shaped, with the Dewey Avenue elevation and the west face of the building being significantly longer than the south and east sides. The building on the east elevation had a significant fire in the 1970s, and the second floor was removed, and you can see the remnants of the shared party wall and the lack of windows on the second floor of this building. The Berry Hill was independently listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1999. Before we go down to the next block and I get you into one of these historic buildings, let's take a coffee break. I'm thinking a few of y'all will be making that short 15-minute drive down here to Sapulpa to come visit gone but not forgotten rock and roll and sports memorabilia. It's the old Crest building. Love this recessed entrance with the curved window displays of crests. We're now looking at the second half of the 100 block of East Dewey Avenue. Most of the buildings along this old alignment of Route 66 are the same construction and style, the Chicago style that we saw in the Berry Hill building, with that overall base, shaft, and cap design. But the difference is in the details. The first building is the 1918 Southwestern Bell Telephone Company building. Again, an early 20th century commercial style, but with a Tudor influence. The Tudor style was common for Southwestern Bell. Those of you that have taken a Tulsa Foundation for Architecture walking tour may remember the 1924 Southwestern Bell building at 5th and Detroit in Tulsa, which has a very similar design. On the first floor, windows and the recessed entrances are encased in a stone surround with Tudor arches at the stone doors. Again, a continuous stone sill under the second story windows with flat stone headers. Love the brick parapet and the stone coping on this building. Just east of the Southwestern Bell building, this two-story commercial style building built in 1918. You see the transom area covered with plywood with 4 faux casement windows in the middle. Above that transom, I love the tile string course with the 2 drips towards the outer edge for ornamentation. Second floor windows and transom are all completely enclosed within a stylized band of white tile. A pilaster with stone base and capital separates the 2 bays, giving the aesthetically pleasing lateral symmetry to this building, which is topped with a highly detailed foliated tile parapet and intricate frieze. This is the building that brought me out to Sepulpha today, 126 East Dewey. It's the Independent Order of Oddfellows buildings, built somewhere around 1905. I absolutely love this corner turret above the canted entrance. Notice that turret is a darker brick for contrast, and I love how the whole building is capped with a metal cornice, and at one point the turret itself was capped with a metal dome that was removed sometime in the 1930s. On the ground floor was most recently the Boomerang Diner, but through the years has been many things, prominently a longtime drugstore. It was a dentist office. This building is for sale. So I'm excited to get inside, see if we can't find the right buyer to bring new life to the Independent Order of Oddfellows building here in Sapulpa. This space was most recently occupied by the Boomerang Cafe. And on the east side of the building, more retail space. Let's go take a look. Plenty of room in here for a nice little retail shop. From the main entrance, we walk down Dewey Avenue, and here is the entrance to the second and third floors, which includes the IOOF Hall. inside we go. Up on the second floor is a series of rooms, possibly offices, possibly conversions to apartments. From the inside of one of these rooms, we're looking all the way down at 5 different rooms, also one behind me. And this one, we've got a little kitchen area. And around the corner, the bathroom, sans toilet. And the stairs up to the 3rd floor. Head on up. And we made it up to the Great Hall of the Independent Order of Oddfellows Sapulpa branch. The Order of Oddfellows was founded in England in the early 1700s. It's a fraternal organization. Most fraternal organizations of that day were tradesmen's guilds, and the Oddfellows had odd trades or did odd jobs, thus the name Oddfellows. The first American lodge was in 1806. In 1851, the IOOF became the first such organization to include women as members, and by the 1920s, the order claimed more than 2.5 million members. This is the lodge. From the inside of the turret, we can look down on Dewey Avenue and Route 66 at sunset. I hope y'all have enjoyed this brief architectural tour of historic downtown Sapulpa and a look inside 126 East Dewey, the IOOF building. And with 53 contributing buildings in the historic district, there's a lot more to see. There's a lot to explore here in Sapulpa. So I hope to see y'all soon here on Route 66 in Sapulpa, Oklahoma.